So before we start today's video, I want to put a call out. And I want to put a call out to all those local councillors who find themselves now either the minority in a reform majority council, or if you are one of those councillors who lost their seats in one of those areas. Because I think it is very, very important, very, very important, first of all, for wanting to get one of you guys on to come and say, right, this is what a local councillor is, this is what a local councillor does. Because so few people in the UK actually know what the role of a councillor is, how important they are, and what they actually do. That's one of the first things why I'd like to get you guys, one of you guys on. The next thing is I would like you to come on and explain this is what's going on recently, prior to the election, what was going on in your local council. This is what we were discussing. These were the issues we were facing. This is how we were, going to tackle them. What I would then love is a discussion, because you guys probably know these councils, those not all those new councillors, you know them. You probably know what they're going to do. And what they're going to do is, as we'll see in a moment, set up Doge units. Yes, Nigel Farage is planning to bring in Doge-like units to local councils to go and, quote, cut waste, fraud, and abuse. So bear in mind what a disaster it has been for Elon Musk to go and, start slashing all those budgets. Farage reform intend to come and do the same thing now to local councils. And I would love for like, say, one of you guys to come on and explain just how bad that is going to be, what disasters could unfold, what we should be on the lookout for. And the thing is, it is you guys who know the most about that. And you guys do not get very often the platform you want. So I would love to platform one of you guys. So if you know someone who was a local councillor who lost their position onto one of these now reform-owned councils, do get in touch with me. I would love to platform you. And I do not mind whatever party you are from. You can be, ex-Labour councillor, Tory councillor, Green councillor, independent, whatever. Come on, get in contact with me, because I want to hear your experiences as a local councillor, what is going on in that area, and why these reform lunatics, when they get in, are going to be quite possibly a massive disaster. Because you guys probably know so much more than a lot of the news media has picked up on. I would love to, like I say, give a platform to you on this. So please get in touch with me, contact with me. You can get me on Blue Sky. You can get me that way. If you're still using Twitter, I am still on Twitter. You can get me that way. Like I say, get in contact with me, because I would love to hear just what's going on. Because honestly, quite honestly, everyone needs to hear, I think, what's going on that front. Really desperately so. So, as I alluded to earlier on, in Farage's victory speech, he basically said, if you work in climate change, DEI, or any type of diversity or inclusion initiative in the council, start packing your bags. So that is worrying, first and foremost, because if you look at the history of what happened of Birmingham Council, why it is in such a bad position it is in, it is because it did not listen to those types of inclusion initiatives, which caused it to get sued, and it lost a heck of a lot of money, which has caused it to be in the situation it is in. Right? Because it did not follow those rules and guidelines from that. And just because you get rid of those departments does not mean you are not going to be open to those type of complaints. Who then deals with that complaint? You know, how does it get dealt? How does it get dealt with? How does he make sure it doesn't happen again? And of course, you're going to get sued. You know, look what happened. That is the primary reason why Birmingham City Council went under, because of the equal pay dispute, or the unequal pay dispute, shall we say, that went on there. You know, so it's inevitable things like this are going to happen. And if you don't believe me, you're one of these, reform people, because one of the things I really want to start try and do is I'm going to start using some SEO black magic to try and bring some reform people over to this channel every so often. So do bear that in mind when the comments start to go maybe a little bit crazy. But I want these people to come on here, and I want them to see what their own party is doing, and what they are being done with, what the reality is of the party they are now supporting. Because I really do not believe most of these people who support this party are genuine, or really are that close to the politics that they really know what reform is actually going to do. And bear in mind, there are reform YouTubers out there. So if you are a reform YouTuber and you want to talk to someone, I'm right here. Yeah, I'm from Yorkshire. I like having conversations. So if you want to have a conversation, by all means, let's have a conversation. But don't believe me, of course. Let's hear it right from the horse's mouth. So this is one of these new councillors that got elected. This is Reform Councillor John Dudley, who's going to say here, I'll play the video in a moment, that Doge-style efficiency, but not in the same sense as Elon Musk. The people of Nottinghamshire gave us their tax money, and we promised to do things for them. In return, we can do it better. I doubt they will. I very much doubt they will. This is why I want to get a councillor on here, because you guys know how bad some of these guys are going to be. You know this. They've been on the same council with you. You know the type of lunacy and stuff they are going to push. This is why I want to give you guys the platform to say, yeah, this is how bad it's going to be. So again, if you are one of those councillors, or one of those, ex-councillors who lost their seat to reform, and one of those now reform control councils, please get in contact with me. I will love to give you a platform to tell people just what on earth is going on. So let's hear it, straight from his own mouth. Hang on, let's make this a little bit bigger. There we go.
We give a fresh face, we give a new look to that, and we give a new way of actually delivering efficiencies. You call it Doge, we're going to just call it...
I didn't call it Doge. Nigel Farage called it Doge. Your party leader did.
Yes, he called it a Doge-style efficiency, but not in the same sense that you would think of Elon Musk, in the sense that it's a redistribution and more economic use of the resources that the hard-working people of Nottinghamshire have given us. They give us their tax money, and we promise to do something for them in return for that. What I'm saying is that we can do it better.
Are you worried about the responsibility that you now have? Because you're not just the party of opposition, you're not just the party of change.
Yes.
You will be the party that will be held to account for what you do or do not deliver here.
Yes, I'm excited by it. We give a fresh face.
So, yeah, he's excited by it. Excited by it. What's to say? And I will tell you now, I will not be surprised. I will not be surprised if we end up covering in like a couple of weeks' time, or even a couple of months' time, we see this guy flipping out because a local reporter dared hold him to account. I think we will. I very, very much suspect we will. I do suspect we will probably see a lot of clashes with reform and local reporters. It would not, quite frankly, shock me to see that. After all, we just covered one with Lee Anderson and one of the people and local reporters from the Nottingham Post, who was quite rightly in his rights to say, I am quite worried by the fact that these people want to be in power and then want to have a platform to use on, but only on their terms. We're not allowed to ask them any hard-hitting questions. I am quite concerned that that is probably what's going to happen as well. But there you heard it yourself. It's Doge, but not quite Doge. What does that even mean? And I will criticize the reporter there. I think he should have gone in on that. I think he should have asked him, what does that actually mean? What does that actually mean, a British Doge? What does that mean? Well, quite frankly, we're going to find out. We're going to find out. And when they start doing stuff and when it all starts to go wrong, then we'll see how they like being held to account. Methinks that all of a sudden he isn't going to be that excited about being held to account when he has to start answering those hard questions. So, as always, thank you very much for watching. Let me know what you think down below. And like I say, if you do know someone who is one of those local councils, or you do know a local councillor who's in that position, you know, either tell me, let me know, let them know, because I would love to, like I say, give them a platform to tell people just what is about to happen and what is about to unfold. Because I will tell you now, those councils, you're going to see a lot of chaos, literally. So, as always, thank you very much for watching. And of course, as always, you can hit the like, share, and subscribe button. Of course, links down below. And of course, as always, we'll see you all next time.